Program continues our coverage of the upcoming Philippine election, a historic election, and my colleague and dear friend Nestor Licanto is on site in Manila, detailing all of the events, facts, storylines heading into this election. Nestor, Hafade once again.
Hafade, Jason. Yes, we just got the latest Pulse Asia survey that came out yesterday. Pulse Asia is a respected Philippine research and polling firm. And they conducted a nationwide survey from April 16th to the 22nd of 2,400 registered voters who are likely to vote in Monday's presidential and election. And here's the results. Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos, as we've been reporting, with a commanding lead, 56%. He's followed by Vice President Leni Robredo with 23%. In third place is Senator Manny Pacquiao, a distant 7%. And then Manila Mayor Isko Moreno is at 4%, and Senator Ping Lacson is at 2%. So clearly, Bongbong Marcos has that almost insurmountable lead. Most people believe that he's got more than all of his four rivals combined have 36%, and he's at 56%. And as we explained, all he needs is a plurality of the vote. So, in mathematical terms, it seems like a foregone conclusion who the next president of the Philippines is, but you can never call it until it's over, right?
Exactly. And even though the survey, Nestor, is speculative at this point, even though probably somewhat reliable, is there any indication where Marcos is getting his support?
Yeah, actually, he's just strong all across the board. In the National Capital Region, he's at 57%. For the rest of Luzon, he's at 54%, and this includes the Marcos stronghold of the Ilocos region. In the Visayas, is his weakest. He's at 47%, which is the home turf of Vice President Robredo, his closest rival. In Mindanao, he's at his highest at 67%, and that's due in large part to his running mate for Vice President, Sara Duterte, who is the daughter of current President Rodrigo Duterte. And of course, Mindanao is their home turf. And by the way, Sara Duterte is doing well for herself. She has similar numbers for the vice president race. She's well ahead of the second place, who is Senate President Tito Soto, who is an actor, comedian, and as I said, the president of the Senate in the Philippines. So it looks like the Marcos Duterte tandem has this election well in hand.
Mm-hmm. Well, with only less than a week, as you said, before the actual election and voters go to the polling stations, of course there is opportunity. This data is always useful. What can the other candidates do as far as final push, try and turn the tide of the election, or give voters something to consider?
Yeah, I'm not sure at this point how much more they can do. I think Bongbong Marcos he's basically running out the clock. He's got a big lead, and he's not engaging in any public debates. He's refused any invitation to do any public debates with any of the other candidates. And he sees this as an opportunity to regain, if you will, his family legacy. His father, the late dictator Ferdinand Marcos, we had an opportunity to interview him back in 1987, a year after he departed the Philippines, which I want to get into that a little bit more and explore that in tomorrow's report. But as to your question for Leni Robredo, I think her focus is going to be on the National Capital Region, which has the highest concentration of votes. Marcos actually dipped a little bit from the last survey. He dipped about 7%. He went from 64% down to the current 57%. So she's going to make any inroads. I think strategically she's going to focus on the National Capital Region, which has 20 million people. That's about 20% of the population of the Philippines. So, and by the way, the campaigning ends on Friday by law, so they'll take the weekend off, and then the polls open on Monday.
All right, and as you said, with Marcos, the municipalities in which he is the weakest, he's still got 47% of the vote, so he's pretty much sitting pretty at this point.
Yeah, yep, and as I said, he's running out the clock.
All right, so that's Nestor Licanto in the Philippines. Highly anticipated election coming up in just a few scant days. Nestor, we always appreciate it.
All right, thanks, Jason.